Have you ever faced punishment for doing the right thing? What if revealing the truth meant losing your career, your name, even your future? What if, instead of seeking revenge, the only path forward was to build something better from the ruins? Evelyn Nina Carrington never thought her career would fall apart overnight. With over 2 decades of flying experience, she had earned a solid reputation as a seasoned commercial pilot, respected for her precision, dedication, and unwavering ethics. But all that began to unravel the moment she stumbled upon a dark secret hidden beneath polished performance reports and soaring profits at Altacare. She discovered a pattern: maintenance records manipulated, safety protocols bypassed, and leadership more concerned with profits than passengers' lives. It began subtly: a questionable report here, an aircraft grounded without a clear reason there. But when Elena dug deeper and cross-checked the maintenance logs, the truth became undeniable. The discrepancies pointed to deliberate cost-cutting at the expense of safety. When she tried to raise her concerns through official channels, she was met first with silence, then with pushback. Her name was quietly marked as difficult. Desperate for guidance, she turned to Harold Winters, a former operations director and longtime mentor. But by the time she brought her findings to upper management, the decision had already been made. The very next day, she was escorted out of the building under the pretense of a departmental shakeup. Alone in her car, ashamed and cast aside, Evelina watched as Altacare continued sending aircraft into the skies, aircraft she knew were not safe to fly. That night, her phone wouldn't stop ringing. Fellow pilots called in, reporting canceled flights. They cited sudden mechanical issues, unresponsive crews, and silent refusals to operate planes they no longer trusted. It was a formal strike. Doing so would have been illegal, but a quiet stand was taking place. Pilots were simply refusing to compromise their conscience or endanger lives. Then came a call from Lisa Brennan, a federal safety inspector, who had heard whispers about falsified records. Elena didn't hesitate. She gave a detailed statement and connected Lisa with others ready to speak up. The wheels of accountability had begun to turn, slowly but unmistakably. In the midst of it all, Elena received an unexpected call from Victor Chun, the CEO of Skyward Global. He had been watching the Altacare scandal unfold and saw a rare opportunity, not just to challenge competitor, but to reshape the industry. In a glass-walled office high above the city, Victor offered Elena something no one else ever had: complete freedom to create an entirely new training and flight operations division from the ground up, unlimited resources, full support, no interference. Still skeptical, Elena asked, "Why me?" Victor's reply was clear: because pilots follow those who care more about people than profits. She agreed. Over the next several weeks, she poured herself into designing a world-class training center, featuring the latest simulators, innovative classrooms, and a culture grounded in integrity. Victor stayed true to his promise, approving every decision without hesitation. Then, Altacare was grounded. The FAA launched a full investigation, halting all flights. Soon after, Elena's phone rang again, but this time it was her former colleagues, led by Catherine Reynolds, the chief flight instructor, asking not for sympathy, but for a chance to start over. 30 of them showed up in plain clothes, flight bags slung over their shoulders, ready to join her mission. Welcome to Skyward. Elena greeted them with a quiet smile. This was no longer about revenge. It was about rebuilding. Together, as Altacare stock plummeted, CEO Jeffrey Lawson was forced to resign amid national outrage. The headlines told the story: hundreds of canceled flights, millions in lost revenue, and a flood of lawsuits. Meanwhile, Skyward took off, both literally and figuratively. 6 months later, Elena stood beside Harold on the runway as a Skyward 787 Dreamliner touched down flawlessly. Catherine was at the helm. Skyward had secured a major share of premium routes, and Elena's training program was being praised across the industry as the new benchmark. Harold turned to her, revealing that Altacare's board had asked him to return as CEO. He refused. "They're going to approach you next," he said. She already knew. That morning, she had received a letter from Altacare's new chairman, inviting her to lead the airline's recovery. She didn't need time to think. Watching Catherine wave from the cockpit window, Elena replied, I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. She hadn't just reclaimed her career. She had created a new model for the future, one built on truth, safety, and respect for human life. As the sun reflected off the wings of the aircraft preparing for takeoff to Tokyo, Elena smiled. She had never relied on silence to make her mark. It was her courage and her actions that changed everything. Sometimes, the most powerful revenge isn't retaliation. It's building something so strong they can never tear it down.